What's good, YouTube? Hey, man, we back with another video. Hey, man, we got Bogues. Muggsy. I don't know. I know he's the shortest NBA player. And I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never seen him play. I ain't never seen no highlights, no nothing. I don't know nothing about him. I just know he was 5'3". That's all I know. But hey, let's get straight into the video.
The average height of an NBA player is 6 foot 7 inches, but there have only been 25 players in history listed at 5'9" or shorter. The shortest of them all, standing at 5'3", is Tyrone Bogues, commonly known as Muggsy. Here's his life story and how he defied all the odds and snuck his way into the game of giants.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
Tough surroundings that built character. Tyrone was the youngest of 4 siblings in the Bogues family. They lived in the rough part of Baltimore, where life expectancy is often cut short due to drugs and violence. When Muggsy was only 5 years old, he ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time and got too close to an armed robbery. Shotgun pellets hit his arms and legs, and he was rushed to the hospital, thankfully without serious consequences. Muggsy's father and oldest brother were drug addicts, and his dad got sentenced to 20 years for an armed robbery of his home when Muggsy was just 10 years old. Muggsy didn't choose the same route and relied on basketball to escape problems at home. He was the smallest at every playground, and in the beginning, it was tough for him to get picked in the game. But due to his perseverance and grit, he fought for his spot on the court, and that's where he developed his tenacious approach to the game. A part of the most dominant high school team ever. When we're talking about the most dominant high school team of all time, the early 80s Dunbar Poets from Baltimore are ranked #1 on most lists. With Muggsy at the helm, flanked by Reggie Williams and Reggie Lewis, the team was undefeated for 60 consecutive games from 1982 to 1984. All 3 players were first-round picks in the 1987 NBA draft, which was unheard of at the time. Statistical probability of 3 players drafted in the first round on the same high school team are 4 million to 1. Apart from 3 future NBA stars, the team had several other players with prominent NCAA careers, and Dunbar was winning games by an average of 30 points. The Poets were the most famous high school team in the country, and their games attracted a flock of college scouts. With his relentless full-court defense and surgical precision in running the offense, Muggsy had a lot of offers on the table. Ultimately, he chose Wake Forest University, where he would spend the next 4 years of his basketball.
Look how short that man is, bro. Look how short this man
For
is.
defense and surgical precision in running the offense, Muggsy had a lot of offers on the table. Ultimately, he chose Wake Forest University, where he would spend the
Now, this is by far wicked, bro. This is insane. I am not gonna lie, this is insane.
next 4 years of his basketball career. In 119 games as a Deacon, he averaged 8.3 points, 6.6 assists, and 2.4 rebounds. As a senior, those stats looked even better, with 14.8 points, 9.5 assists, and 3.8 rebounds. He left college as the best passer and best ball thief in school history, and Wake Forest honored him by retiring his number 14 jersey. The stellar play of the unimaginably fast and pesky Bogues did not go unnoticed. Numerous NBA scouts were interested in him, but behind every discussion about Muggsy stood an eternal question. Can he really play with the big boys? And will his size be a limiting factor? Drafted by the Bullets, scooped by the Hornets. Despite size concerns, Bogues went surprisingly high in the stacked '87 draft. The Washington Bullets selected him 12th overall, which was not greeted with too much enthusiasm from the fans in the nation's capital. The Bullets fans resented the management for not taking Mark Jackson, who was Rookie of the Year that season. After the tallest NBA player ever in Manute Bol, they selected the shortest one, and many people believed it was strictly for marketing reasons. Calculations that Bogues was not attractive enough to be selected in the night for marketing reasons.
Bro. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Calculations that Bogues was not attractive enough to be selected in the 1988 expansion draft when Charlotte and Miami came into the NBA cost the Bullets dearly. They didn't label Muggsy as a protected player, and he was eligible in the expansion draft for 2 new NBA teams. The Hornets took him, and that's where he would spend the majority of his career and become an NBA legend. Muggsy, Zoe, and Grandmama. In Charlotte, Muggsy found a home and was absolutely adored by the fans. Despite winning only 20 games in the inaugural season, the city threw a parade for the Hornets. The initial run-in of the team, followed by poor results.
Letting a 5'3" player just get buckets on them like that, bro.
Results also resulted in high picks in the draft. When Larry Johnson, Kendall Gill, and Alonzo Mourning came to the team, the Hornets were ready to make a leap. They achieved their best result in the 1992-93 season, when they defeated the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs, with a spectacular game winner by Alonzo Mourning. Bogues peaked in the 1993-94 season, in which the Hornets hired Hersey Hawkins and Eddie Johnson, both fantastic shooters. That year, Muggsy averaged 10.8 points, 10.1 assists, and even 4.1 rebounds. Also, for the 6th straight season, he led the Hornets in steals and assists. Jordan Trash Talk and Space Jam. In the 1995 NBA playoffs, Charlotte faced the Chicago Bulls in the first round. The Bulls were again led by Michael Jordan, who realized that he's better at basketball than he is at baseball. During clutch moments of Game 4, Michael utilized his popular trash-talking skills on Muggsy, leaning away from him, daring him to shoot. "Shoot the ball, you midget," Jordan said, with a few more F-word adjectives in between. Down by 1, Muggsy took the shot and missed badly. The Bulls won the series in 4 games, and many pundits claimed Jordan destroyed Muggsy's confidence after that incident. Muggsy brushed it off and said he wasn't mad at Jordan for calling him a midget, and that it was all part of the game. What soothed the relationship was also the filming of Space Jam, where Jordan and Muggsy were 2 of the players whose talents were taken by the Monstars. At the time, Muggsy was one of the most popular players in the game, and the world was astounded that he's able to play so well at that size, which was also highly marketable. Muggsy also had small roles in movies Eddie and Joanna Man, and various TV shows and commercials. Knee injury and personal problems. A knee injury forced Muggsy to sit out almost the entire 95-96 season, and it came at the worst possible time. He was going through a divorce from his wife Kim, and on top of that, his older brother Chucky was struggling with heroin addiction and was on the brink of death or jail. Muggsy took him in his house and cared for him because he knew he wouldn't respond well to a rehabilitation clinic. Chucky respected his successful younger brother and thankfully managed to leave the drugs for good. Muggsy returned to the court for the 96-97 season and regained his old form. However, the Hornets couldn't get over the hump once again in the first round of the playoffs, and after Mourning and Johnson left the team, management decided it was Muggsy's turn to go as well.
Look at this picture, bro. This picture is insane, bro. This picture is insane, gang.
After 10 years in Charlotte, he was traded to the Golden State Warriors, where he would play for the next 2 seasons. Frequently injured and on the wrong side of 30, Muggsy wasn't the same player he once was. The Warriors' years were followed by a trade to Toronto, where he played his last real NBA season as a mentor to Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. He retired in 2001 after playing 14 seasons in the NBA. Muggsy played a total of 889 games, averaging 7.7 points, 7.5 assists, and 2.6 rebounds. He's the Charlotte Hornets' all-time career leader in assists, 5,557, and steals, 1,067. How he became Muggsy, dunking ability, and coaching career. In a column for Players Tribune, Muggsy explained the origin of his nickname. He was first called Apple by his family because he used to trim his head real low, and his head would shine like an apple. In high school, he was nicknamed Muggsy after a character in the Bowery Boys who was smaller than everybody else, but still the most important part of the crew. He first hated the nickname, but it stuck, and almost nobody calls him Tyrone anymore, and even he rarely uses his real name now. And if you're wondering if a 5'3" Muggsy ever dunked, the answer is yes. Although he never dunked in an NBA game, Muggsy said his 44-inch vertical made it possible for him to dunk in practice, and that he completed exactly 1 in-game dunk in high school and another one in college. In 2005, Muggsy became a coach of the Charlotte Sting in the WNBA, where he coached for 2 seasons with a 14-30 record. Of course, he was shorter than all of his players, with the shortest one coming in at 5'6". Muggsy lives in Charlotte, where he regularly hosts basketball camps for children and is serving as an ambassador for the Hornets. He's still regularly greeted and adored by basketball fans. Muggsy Bogues will always be remembered for his fearlessness, for proving heart is more important than height, and that being tall ain't all.
Wow. man, that shit crazy. Hey, Muggsy Bogues, bro, shortest NBA player. Hey, salute, bro. And he stay in my home, and he stay in my state, bro, where I'm from, North Carolina. So I had nothing but respect for Muggsy Bogues. Hey, y'all drop in the comments some more details about him, bro. I'm surprised that man can dunk for real, but hey, make sure y'all drop a like, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. See y'all the next reaction. Not the next reaction. The next, yeah, basically the next reaction. All right, peace.